Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and today is video 1 for the new kit called Memories of the Meadow, and it's by Nanine at Collage Type and Tanya at Tatty Treasure Shop if you're at Etsy, or Tatty Treasure if you're on Facebook or YouTube. So don't worry about the links. I'm going to have them below the video. They'll all be there to everything from everybody. Okay, so now I'm going to go through this kit a little bit, but it's huge. It's basically 2 kits. There's a vertical kit and a horizontal kit, and then there's a ton of ephemera. Now, the edges of it do not come like this. I was practicing different colored inks to see how they looked against the paper. So, like I said, it's a huge kit. I don't know if you can see, there's that. And then there's that, and there's a bunch of ephemera back there. So we're going to take a quick look through here, but we're not going to be using the vertical today. We're going to be using the horizontal. All right, so let's set that aside for just a second. And we will go through this, and these are beautiful, beautiful images. And don't worry about not using the vertical because they're replicated in the horizontal as well. So we've got these large images, which are great for manila folder folios. And this one, and this one. Don't feel bad if I don't stop and peruse each one. There are quite a few in each one. So I thought I would show you the bigger version of the flower pictures. And then when we get to the book ones, then you'll know it's the same images, only smaller. Okay, so now this is a collaboration between Tanya and Nanine. Tanya does the idea, and Nanine does the graphics. And this is my design team kit that I'm using for my design team project. That didn't come out right. Anyway, those are the vertical pages, the large ones. Then we have a writing page. Now you'll notice, now in the vertical kit, you'll notice there are borders. And the reason there's borders is with the vertical kit, it's printed out in the European measurements. Okay, so keep that in mind as we go forward. So when you're using the vertical kit, you have to turn off the fit to page. Otherwise, you lose about this much of the picture all the way around. That's no good. So you have to go ahead and print it with the borders and have the little bit smaller page. The page ends up being 7.5 by 10 3/4 instead of 8.5 by 11. Okay, so don't forget that. Very important, depending on which you're using. Okay, and then there's this graph paper writing page. There's another one. And then this other one with, it's a graph paper as well, but it's a lot lighter, and it's got this beautiful green background. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera or not. Okay, then there's some collage pages. I love this one. That's not a collage page, that's a backing page. And another backing page. Okay, and then there's going to be ephemera, there's going to be freebies, there's going to be 2 full kits, and there's going to be, let's see, what was it? Freebies, add-ons, yeah, a bunch. It ends up being, I believe, 60-something pages. There are 10 pages that I still don't have yet because they're working on them. That's how soon you're seeing this as it's being made and put in the shops. Okay, so then we have Memories of the Meadow Kit 1. Now that's Kit 1 and Kit 2 kind of mixed. I didn't realize at first, and I just started printing stuff out. So this is some pockets. I know it's kind of funny to look at, but these are 2 pockets here, and then there's 2 pockets here, and these have the fold under flaps to make them gusseted, so that way they hold more stuff. This is a long pocket here, and it's also got the gusset. Now, as you guys know, I don't always leave that little gusset on, depending on what type of page I'm doing. Here's 4 more pockets. Oh, for goodness sakes. Me and my hands, I tell ya. Here's some large tags, which we may steal, you know. And some more large tags. I have the feeling this kit may be an add-on, the ephemera from this one. Paper clip some of this stuff back together before it gets out of control. And then on this one, you have a pocket and the card for it. And then you've got some circles and you've got some stamps. I don't know if you can see the cream color around that makes the stamps. Okay, then we've also got another pocket and another card, and then you've got some artificial washi, and then some labels. Now this kit comes with a front and a back cover and also a spine piece. So if you're going to make a hardcover book, then you've got pieces for all 3 parts of your cover. Okay, so here's some writing cards, and here's some more writing cards. So that's number 2. I'm paper clipping it together before I flip it back over. So we quickly went through that. Woo. Now we are going to be making something I haven't made for quite a while, and you'll see in just a minute. But what I was going to say is that I don't know what I was going to say. I'm sorry. I have no idea what I was going to say. Anyway, so this is kit 3. Okay, and these are the book pages. Let's take a look at these real quick. And so this is the upside down image. Are they all upside down? No. These are the images that are the same as the large verticals, and then you have writing on the other side. Okay, so we've got this one, and this one, and this one. Anyway, they're the same. You'll notice that the writing on each side represents the 3 different writing card types or writing paper types that there were in the other kit. So the reason they do this is because they want to cater to people like Tanya and I that usually gravitate towards manila folder folios, and also for people that like to make books, so that way you've got both sets. And they're intermingling, because you can take the long page and cut parts of it out and use it in the smaller parts of your book. So don't worry about that. We're going to be cutting these in half, so we're going to have double the pages, double the fun, double the pages. So you can see it's a very large kit. Let me paper clip these back together. And I'm very impressed with it. I think it's beautiful. If you remember Down the Rabbit Hole, which was their first collaboration, was amazing as well. So you might want to check that out at their shops as well. So here's our writing page. Just pure backing writing page. Good for a card. Then these are the full pages. Now, I want to mention, which I forgot to mention, if you'll notice on these pages, on the book pages, I was able to print them out borderless without losing any of the image. because I tried it both ways. I thought, well, they can't be right. One's one way, one's the other. Well, it is. So that way for you bookmakers, you can print them out full page or full size, no borders, and have no worries. And you don't have to trim all that paper off just to make your book. Because us folio makers usually cut them all up anyway. So that's why it doesn't matter with the borders on the other ones. Okay? So this is the same with the backing papers, or the full-size papers. And I love this one. It's so pretty. Oh, can you see the pattern? This one's beautiful. They're all beautiful. This is a bigger version of the full-sized. If you were to cut this in half, turn it sideways, and make a full-size picture out of each half, that's what this is. Okay, we've got this gorgeous complimentary page. And this one, I love the colors too. They're very much in keeping with the name of the Memories of the Meadow. And this and that. And that's the pages that we're going to be using. The two sets of horizontal page that I just showed you. Well, the full pages, which can go either way, most of them. And then the horizontal pages. Now we're going to get into some ephemera. Couldn't get the paper clip off. There's so many. Let's see. Okay, so this says Memories of the Meadow Kit 3. However, on some of the ephemera pages, like the tags, there's not enough room to write on there. So if you mix them together, I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. They all go together. I'm pretty sure. No, I have that one right side up. Sometimes me and flowers, you should think that I would realize with the stems. Anyway, so the ephemera on this page, these are two flags. Okay, and then this is probably the book cover and the book spine, I would think. I didn't even notice that ahead of time. This is a large version of the pocket page, or another version. Now we get into some really nice large tags. Those are going to come in handy for us, because we're going to do a combo. These are 4 pockets. Then we get into some nice frames. And then now some of this ephemera is going to need to be printed on the back side. Some of the, well, you know, actually, I think they're all going to need to be printed on the back side in case we decide to use them for writing cards. So we'll have to see how that goes. There's a really pretty backing paper. There's 2 of them actually, cream colored, that you can use to back your papers with. If you're making a book, you know what I mean, and you're folding it in half, you're going to see the back side of the paper. So then you'll need to be able to, you'll need to print on the back side. I love rulers. This ruler has flowers on it. And here's a little fairy from the fields, and or meadows, depending on what you would like to call them. I should have called it a meadow, I guess. And so here's some different shaped ephemera, some tickets. Here's a large envelope. Here's some cards, and another large piece that could be a spine, but it also could be a belly band. And then this one's upside down, definitely. And then some words. And then a backing page that accidentally got stuck in there. And then some more ephemera. And I believe there's more ephemera that I don't have. That's what's to come. And then you have a, this may be the other cover page. And then there's tons of words. Now, you scan and cut people are going to have to be aware that a lot of the ephemera is very, very close together. So your scan and cut may not be helpful to you to do this. You may have to cut this ephemera out, which is fine. It's no big deal. It's nothing intricate. Most of it you can cut with your paper trimmer. So let's see, what have I done? Full pages. That's where you go. It's very pretty too. I don't know how it got snuck in there with the ephemera. Okay, so these are the pages that we're going to use. These two, the ephemera, and some probably out of the 10 pages that are going to come. Now, we're not going to use anywhere near this, and I'm not sure that anybody could. It would have to be a huge book, probably a big 4 signature book. But we're not going to make a book. And we're not going to make a folio either. Huh. I got you on that one, didn't I? Well, I guess it's sort of a folio, but not really. Not really. Okay, so we're going to set these pages to the side. But anyway, when we cut these in half, then that gives us double, and there's just no way that we're going to be using, you know, all of this. Put all this together. So we're basically using kit 3 plus ephemera. Yeah, because I think it's like 4 kits and ephemera. It's huge. I'll just put it that way. It's just huge. There's a lot of paper. And I know, because I just printed all this out so I could show it to you. There's plenty for multiple books that do not look alike at all. There's plenty of papers. Okay, we're not going to be using any papers right now. We are going to look at starting our book. Now, these are some of the things that you're going to need. You're going to need a couple of envelopes. Let me get this out of the way. Yes, it's a shelf. It's a shelf that I stole out of a bookcase. So you're probably going to need a couple envelopes. You know me. I like the little flip outs. Can't help it. You're going to need some ribbon to tie it shut. Now this is really thin. I think this is 1/8 ribbon. I got it on Amazon very inexpensively. Now, I got this from Tanya. She stamps the edges of her books instead of inking. Well, she inks sometimes too. But that way you've got something interesting to look at where the paper's not at. I love that idea. And in this particular project, I'm stealing that idea. Now, I got these Tim Holtz stamps, and they're this set is Ultimate Grunge, and the number CMS075. Okay, from Stampers Anonymous. And I actually got this on eBay. And I just want to thank all you watchers that have donated money through Buy Me a Coffee or purchased items for me through my Amazon, or purchased items using my Amazon links, because I do get a little bit of money for that, and that allowed me to go on to eBay and get some Tim Holtz stuff for you guys that we can use. So so we've got this, and what we're going to do is we're going to use these one of these pieces. I haven't decided whether it's going to be the crackle one or if it's going to be this one, but I'm thinking, because I used this one on another project and it turned out really well, but I'm thinking it might be this little guy right here that we stamp the edges with. Okay, so this is where I was trying out the different colors. Scattered Straw is too light on the manila folder. Brushed Corduroy is a little dark. Gathered Twigs is definitely too dark. If you see different shades, it's because that's the first time I stamped it. The next, because I can always ink it, stamp it off once over there somewhere on a scrap piece of paper, and then come back and do the lighter color until it runs out. So keep that in mind as well. Get that guy back over there where he belongs. And the nice thing about these stamps is they're very thick and they have like a foam underneath them, and it works really well with a stamping pad or a stamping block, or in my case, we're just going to do it with our hands. And then on the back is Vintage Photo, which is our go-to, and it looks like it's going to be our go-to this time too. This seems too dark to me. The Brush Corduroy, I don't know. It's a little dark as well. I don't really want to go that dark. Meadows are not dark. Scattered Straw would have been perfect if we had been stamping on white. Okay, so that's our scrap for testing on the manila folder versus me testing it on the white next to the colors on the page. So we're definitely going to need some stamps. We're probably going to use a little bit of lace, not a lot, to cover up one of our seams where we glue our pages together. And then you're going to need your ink, obviously. And let me see, what else? Oh, manila folders. Ta-da! Okay, so let's move this stuff out of the way. We're going to start putting our book together. We might get farther than I thought in this first video. Now, the first thing we have to do is cut the third piece. So the pieces are going to be 5 3/4 by 8 3/4. So let's cut the last one. And we're going to cut this at 8 3/4. This is a legal sized envelope. It's a generic one from Amazon. The reason I use the legal size is, yes, the offcut piece, let me grab one. The offcut piece is fairly large, but I'm thinking that in the future we might have a flip book coming. Look at the tabs. Very nice. Anyway, we're going to have this much, but there's no logo on the inside in the middle that you have to work around or see in your finished project. All right, so we're going to go 8 3/4. Make sure our manila folder is straight. Okay. Here's another one. And then you're going to want to save these tabs that we're about to cut off. Well, not on this one. This one must have been a center fold. But the ones with the left and the right tabs, when you cut this part off, you'll end up with tabs like this. Be sure to save them. They make really great pockets, tabbed looking pockets. Okay, so I want it 5 3/4 inches wide. Make sure that your folded side is over here so you don't cut off the fold. And let's see if I can cut one the same size as the others while I'm yakking away. Now this one, you see, because it being the center fold one, we don't really have any tabs, so to speak, just a little bit of one, but save it anyway. Just save it anyway. Save the whales, save the whale tabs. Oh, that was bad. Sorry about that. So now we should have 3 the same size. And we do. What's the fuzzies on that one? What's up with that? Looks like there was an issue when I cut it. Alright, let's see if we can fix that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make an accordion book. Now, and what that means is that we're going to glue one of them backwards, like so, so that the fold opens the opposite way, and that way, when you flip through, it just continuously flips. Which way did I do this one backwards? No. So it's going to go 1, 2, this is going to be together, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you just fold it over and it keeps going, right? It keeps going the other way. Now, half of these pages at least, I'm going to be doing off camera because A, they will be something that you already know how to do, or I've already shown you once how to do it, and then B, we've only got 5 videos. It's supposed to be 4 videos and a flip through, but this might be 5. It may not. It may not be that many. It may not be as many as we think. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is actually stamp the folders. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me do all of them, but let's put these 2 to the side. But I am going to show you a little bit so that you get the general idea of what we're going to do. Thank you again, Tanya. This is such a great idea. Okay, so you're just going to do around the edges. But you're not going to see it anywhere else, right? Your paper's going to be there. So this just give you, see, I like this because even though it's like a crack, the picture is like a crack in a windshield, it looks like twigs to me. And I think that fits in well with our papers. Looks like the veins in a leaf. So you're going to do this all the way around on all the sides. I know we're gluing some of them together, but we're going to make pockets. So you're going to want to make sure that you glue all, or you stamp all 4 sides all the way around and up the middle seam. Okay? So I'm going to put you on hold while I do that. And then when we come back, we will glue this together. Okay? All right, I'll see you in just 1 second. Okay, we're all stamped up. Stamping up. Never mind. It was a bad joke. But we're all stamped up. And the reason that we did this is because you're going to see a little bit around the edge. Now, you can see I got a little carried away. Most of this you'll never see. And my poor little hand hurts to prove it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this one, and we're going to open it, and we're going to close this. Then we're going to take this one, and we're going to put the fold to the front, and we're going to attach them together. And when we do this, we're going to leave a top pocket. Okay? So let's go ahead and take this one away so we don't get confused. And we're going to glue this one to this one, and we're going to leave a top pocket. So we're going to take this, and we're going to put our glue on. I really wish I'd have stamped closer to the corner on that. Let me get my stamp back. I was just getting a little stamp crazy. Make sure that the edges, because they look like twigs. And this one looks like twigs when you don't see the whole thing. And I'm going to stamp it off to make sure it's clean before I put it away. So if you see that on pages, it's not that I thought we needed stamping in the middle of the page. I'm just cleaning off the stamp. Okay, we want a top pocket. So what we want to do is we want to glue around the edges. And I put a little teeny bit in the corners, like a little blob, so that we have the ability to move it around a little bit if we need to. Alright, so now we want to put this onto here so that the openings are opposite each other. Okay, you want to make sure it's even top and bottom. And this is going to be our front cover. Make sure everything is even all the way around. Just kind of mush it around a little bit. Okay, So now we've got this, and there's a pocket here, and we've got this, and then we've got that, and we could just stop there actually. We got that. That would give us a front cover, back cover, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. Yeah, no, we're going to go ahead and go one more. So now that this is glued with the fold in the front, we're going to glue this one with the fold in the back, just like the cover is. Okay, so this should open on the same side that the cover opens. All right, so we're going to open this like this, so we know which two sides we're gluing together, and we're going to repeat the exact same process. We'll see how this turns out. I've never done this before. I mean, I've made this type of thing before. I've just never tried to make a book this way with a manila folder. So we'll see if it works or not. I shouldn't have put that glue that close to the edge because, oh yeah, it doesn't matter. They're going together. Duh. I was going to say because the paper's going to show. What is wrong with me? I'm leaving the top open. Now I was going to put lace. That's why I had gotten this coffee dyed lace out. Around this edge so you didn't see this right here, and I'm still debating it, but we did do all that inking and I really like the way the inking looks, but we still may cover the edge of this with lace. I like this lace right here because half of it goes to the front, half of it goes to the back, and there's just enough to cover the 3 manila folders. So now let me show you what we have. If I've done this correctly, you have a front cover, and then it opens, and then it opens double piece right here, which has a top pocket right there, and then we have another piece right here that has a double pocket, or has a pocket. So let me do that again. So we have your cover, you have page 1, 2, 3, 4, back cover, write that on there while we got a chance, and then it's going to keep opening. You're going to be able to go back this way, and you'll be back at the front cover. Okay, so now let's number our pages. Let's call this one 1, 2, well, not just call it that, it is. Okay, and then see, we can open it up and it can stand up like this. That's what's going to be so fun about the whole thing. So we can actually just lay it out and say 3, 4. Let's close it back up. Back cover. 5, 6, and then we should be back at the front cover. Okay, so that'll give us 6 pages and both covers to do, and we need to mark on the front cover and the back cover where we're going to put the ribbons to tie it shut. Now, since this opens like this, we can't just tie one side, or otherwise this side would come open. So we're going to have to put a tie on both sides, just like you would on a flip book. All right, so let's go ahead and mark for the ties. So we're going to go about halfway. I'm going to write tie. Then you're going to go straight across. And you're going to mark, whoops, that's a little too close to the edge. And then you're going to mark right here. Remember, you're going to see this along the edge of the paper, so you don't want to write too far over. Okay? and that. And then let's flip over to the back cover and repeat the process. They may not be exactly the same, but they will when we glue them on. We just want to remind ourselves. Now, I did select my front cover, my back cover, and my ribbon. And I think we're not going to have enough time to do anything else other than the covers. And I think it's going to be okay that we do the covers first, because then it will remind us which pages are the covers, because they'll have the ribbons coming off them. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our ribbons on. Like I said, this is, I believe, 1/8. Yep, it's 1/8 inch ribbon. We're gonna go like this. And then we're gonna go out longer than we think we need. Tying a bow always takes up more than you think it does. Can always trim it off later. So let's go to where we think the real center is. I'm going to put some glue there, you know, right after I put the lid back on the glue. You don't want to glue where the edge is. You just want to glue behind it. You still want to leave that little edge. Okay, and you're just going to put your ribbon in it, and the Fabri-Tac will grab it right away. Make sure it comes out straight. I actually don't need that much. I'm going to glue paper over the top of it, so I don't need that much behind. Let's do the other side while this is drying. So we're going to want to go straight across, and we want to do about the same amount. I got this great big giant roll really cheap, so if you look around, I got it on Amazon. If you look around, you can find really good deals. If I can find the link that I used to buy the ribbon, I'll post it below. Write that down. Now, if you're a member of the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, then of course you get a PowerPoint, not PowerPoint, you get a PDF step-by-step tutorial that goes along, that you can read along with. You could print it out and read along with it, or look at it on your computer screen. See, I said PDF, so I wrote PDF, and I meant ribbon. And once you find the cream, then of course all the other colors will show up. Anyway, you can have a free PDF of the step-by-step tutorial of what we're doing right now. It's all written out. That's how I work. I'm very left-brained, and so I have to do things in order, in steps, and I have to write it out first. I've done ad-lib projects. A couple of my friends have teased me and said that I couldn't, so of course I had to prove them wrong. Of course. So we have to let that dry just a second before we flip it over. We don't want to glue it to the glass. Hope I'm pulling the right part. Yeah. Now what I did was I cut little notches out on here, so that I cut 4 of them, so that no matter where, when I wrap it around, it ends, I can pull the ribbon through here, and that way it doesn't unravel. Alright, let's flip it over. And you can see I just wrote tie on there, and it was nowhere near the same spot. So let's first cut the piece. Remember, part of it's going to be on the book. We'll cut it the same length, or close to it. We can go back and make them into the little angled cuts. Not that worried about it right now. Now you want to glue right across where the ribbon is. You don't want to necessarily glue where you wrote it, because you just wrote it as a reminder. And technically we don't have to put the papers on right now. We could just leave the ribbons, and that way we don't forget. But I'm going to put the papers on because we're not going to decorate them right now. So we might as well get them on there. Oops. Okay. I'm pulling this out so that they're even. Of course, now I made it crooked. Okay. Here we go. Now let's do the other side. Yes, we're going to have to mess with these little ribbons the whole time, but I thought it best to go ahead and get it out of the way before we got all excited and got going and then forgot to put them on. So we're definitely going to need to tie this baby shut. Oops, I forgot to measure. It's okay. We'll put it in the glue. Making sure one is right on top of the other, so that you know they're lined up. We'll get our scissors. We'll cut a piece about the same length. And then you see this ribbon ends right here. So I just put it in that little notch that I cut. And now it keeps it from unraveling. Okay, so we've got those on. So now I've picked out these two images to be the covers because I really love them. And apparently my hair does too. And this is going to be the front cover, and this is going to be the back cover. You notice there's not a lot that you could do to additionally decorate this, and that was another one of the reasons that I selected them. And I went ahead and inked them very lightly, not a lot. They've already got the coloring around the edges, so I just barely inked them with Vintage Photo, just enough to make sure they were not white along the edges. Okay, so let's take our front cover and glue it on while we got the chance. And then after this video, then I'll start working on what I want to put on the pages. You may have time to do all the pages and may not have to do anything off camera. We'll have to wait and see. It's kind of a different kind of book. So this is an accordion book, but it's not got an accordion binding. The accordion binding is where you fold the little papers back and forth, and then you glue the pages onto that. And this is not that at all. Not even close. Okay, so now we're going to glue these on here, and we're going to glue them on so that our twigs show all the way around. And you'll notice I cut it to where we have about 1/8 of an inch all the way around that shows. That looks pretty cool. Thank you again, Tanya, for the idea. And that's our Tanya, same one. That's from our Tatty Treasure, the Tatty Treasure shop. Okay, we'll glue the back cover on. Yes, I know the ribbons are going to be more than annoying, but I definitely wanted to make sure I didn't forget to put them on. Now the rest of our pages we're going to decorate off the book and then put them on the book once we get them decorated. So in case you make a mistake or something bad happens, also it's easier to work on them if they're not glued in the book. All right, now check your front cover. All right, now see, this is right side up. So let's put our back cover on right side up. That would be good. I think the other thing we might be able to do now is, because we have about 20 minutes left, is we could make at least one of the cards that goes in the top. Now, you'll notice we inked everything so that when we get to the pockets, they're in the middle, when we get to the two pockets, when you open it, we'll put a thumb pull or something. When you open it, it's stamped on the inside of the top of the pocket as well that you're going to see. So then we don't have to worry about it. So let me take a look here real quick. In fact, let me put you on pause and I'll take a look, and then that way we don't waste our camera time with me looking through the pages. So we can't do the writing cards because I haven't printed on the back of these yet. So there's no way to put this pattern on the back once we cut them in half. Okay, so let's not do that. Let's well, let's just say that 50 minutes is long enough for this video, and then we'll come back in the next video and I will have printed on the back of all of these, so it doesn't matter which we use as writing or not. I've got these two that can be used as cards, but we're probably going to use them on a page and then decorate them and then use the rest as writing space, because we're not going to just leave a whole page in here blank for writing space, because space is at a premium in our little book. Okay, so I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.